Good morning and sliding afternoon. Judy Allan here in San Antonio, Texas, and we're still doing Let's Go Fishing. Today, though, it's about the ladies. Father's Day has passed, so today we're going to focus on the ladies that go fishing who may be in your life. All right? So with that, let's go down the hands and I'll show you what we got going. Let's see what we can do here. So I've got a tackle box just to show you. I think this is for one of the grandkids or grandkids. And you see they're different colors, right? So it doesn't matter what color you make your fishing lures. I really like this one right here. I'm not making it today. But, you know, we get inspired by different things. So for me, I got inspired. So I'm going to open this up. I got inspired by the tackle box, right? And I had this open the other day and shut it. Anyway, this, let me show it closer to you. So this is actually sort of feathered, right? And it's green, but I'm not going to do the green one today. But, you know, we want to sort of make the one today we're going to do. It's a little on the feathery side. We're going to show you how to do that. But this is my inspiration, right? Lures can be any colors you want them to be. May depend on what you're going to be fishing for, but that's okay, right? You know that you got to change or do something. So let me first show you one of the techniques I talk about when setting this up. And one is, you know, if you want to round corners or have different shapes, you can take a circle punch. And this one here is 1.5 inches. And all I did was, all you can do this way or another way. But this is all I do. I can stick it in here. If you don't have a punch, do it the way you want. See, we get some nice rounded corners like that. You can stick it in even further. I just want to show you, because sometimes people think, well, you know, I want to do this, but I can't. I just do that real easily. Let's see if I can do it easily again. Doesn't matter which side you get it on. It's just got a slight, let me see if I can do the other one. It's just got a slight, see, I would show you, well, this won't do it, okay, right? Because the problem is if I punch this, let me just show you. This is all you're going to get, even if I did it midway, right? So you could get a design like this if you wanted. You want to see what that looks like. But that's not what I was wanting, so let me cut that off. And I was just going to show you if you'll just stick it in there all the way. So that's one of the things about a circle puncher. Right, any of the punches. You can use them to shape your tags any way you want. So what I was trying to do is get it right. I guess I just needed mine to be squared off again. So a minute ago I did it partially open. This one I'm closing it all the way at the end so you can see I split it in there. If I do it like this, then I get more of just a rounded edge. So with the first way I did it, I get a little bit of a different shape here, just because I fed it and left a little bit of a gap. This is where I fed it and I could get the whole side. So there are some easy ways that you can get some different shaped tags just by using a circle punch, right? Or you use a tag. The other thing that I want to show you that I've already done when we go to make one of the cards is I've cut out some fish and I fed some string through it. So I'm at least going to show you how I started off with this, and I'll show you the other. So on your pick tool, if you'll take and undo this, it easily slides in, twist. So today I'm just used this here. And what I did is I just took this here, and I do have a punching mat back here. I've had it since the dark ages, so don't ask me where I got it from because I don't know. But you can sit here and it punches a hole right through here. And the reason why I'm showing you this, so on one of the cards, I fed some string through, so it looks like fish on string, right? When you go fishing, you put your fish on a stringer line. So you just punch the hole through using the piercing tool. You do have to have a mat or something behind it, right? Because you're piercing a hole and so forth. So I'm going to set this aside. When we come to the card, I'll show you a little bit more what we did to go for it. But I want to show you that's how we use the tool to poke the hole in it to get where we're going to go. Okay, so we're going to still start off simple with our 3x3 cards for my special peeps out there that love 3x3 cards. And yes, if you're out there, please be sure to say hello, Sue. So this one here, I'm going to actually do some stamping first, and that is because it gives me the basis of how I'm going to get this laid out, right? So this is just my 3x3 card. I have my fish that we're going to use, and I'm just going to stamp up here just for you. Now, I'm using purple today because there's a few friends in my life that have birthdays coming up, and their favorite color is any shade of purple. Any shade. All right, so I'm going to get my purple in there. And then I'm going to put some water in here. I'm going to use blue for the water. And so we're just going to add some water, and then we're just going to put the fish on it, right? Because this is our simple card. We're not trying to make rocket science out of it, make it 4 layers or anything. This is just going to be a simple card. So this is in the Gone Fishing stamp set, so I'm just going to add my own water here. And I can do it as much as I want, and I can shift it around as much as I want. All right? And then we're just going to add the fish. And we might add some bling here. So my bling that I've been using, if you've gone follow for the last couple of weeks, is I've just used the stuff that I've die cut out of silver, right? Silver foiled paper. And so I like doing that, right? It's a great way to use some of your dies. And I still have a little hook here from last week. Let me put it there. Put it there so I can find them, right? They're tiny. But they're nice, and they show up really good. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to easily do this here. And we have some weights too I had left over. And I'm trying to see what else. And I'm just going to put this right here. I didn't get the last one. I didn't feel like. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to put the fish there. Now, can we add some bling? We surely can. We can add some of this right here. I don't want to use them all because I want to use some later. I'm just going to put them there just to give it some extra shine. That's it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And then I can use Wink of Stella on the fish, give it a little shimmer, and I'm done. It's that easy. These were leftovers. So if you've been following the last couple of weeks, I had these as leftovers. I don't feel like I am, but when I get my die cutting out, and I'm going to make something, especially when you die cut these, you get 3 at a time. So it's like, well, let me go ahead and keep on going until I use up my paper, that piece I have with me right then and there, and then I'm done. So like I said, we're just going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella. Let's see if we can get the lid off here. Okay. And we're just going to give a little shimmer, right? I already fussy cut this out. And there we go. So just a very nice, simple card, simple stamping. And we just added a fish from the paper and some leftover pieces we had from here. So that's our first one, all right? So let's go to the second one where I did the fish. And I'll show you what got going the fish. So like I said, women go fishing too, right? So what I've done, person's favorite color. So when I create for somebody, right, I try to create what I know they like. So I know that purple, I got several of my special peeps that purple is their favorite color, any shade. So this is definitely going to be made for one of my special peeps. People have birthdays and everything else going on, so one of these will be a birthday card and one of them will be an optional card, right? So sometimes I just stamp the sentiment so it can be neutral. This I actually embossed with the Twisted Rope 3D embossing folder. So that's all I did. I just put this in here. And we're going to put this on with adhesive. So I've got very vanilla here, and it's just 4 by 5 1/4. Just like we would do it, put any other base on the front of our cards. Thank you, Sue. So we'll put this here, and then I've just cut out the paper. The paper already has fishing rods on it, so all I'm doing is using what's in the paper, right? I'm using it to my advantage. Didn't fussy cut it. I just made sure when I cut the paper that I have a fishing rod there. So I'm going to put my fishing rod right here. Yes, that is actually a sewing needle. I'm going to show you what I did with that. Okay, so then I have what's left is my tag and my fish. So I showed you how I pierced the fish already, right? So then to get this string through here so it didn't drive me crazy, I actually went to my sewing kit and I got an embroidery needle. It's dull down here and it's got a big eye, and I fed the linen twine right through there so that I could have a string of fish, literally. So what I'm going to do with this tag here is, this is some leftover tags I had. I'm going to stamp on this one here. good things come to those who wait, right? So if you've gone fishing anytime recently, right, you have to have patience. Fish just don't always come and jump on your lure just because you want it to. Some days you might get lucky and they may seem like that. Or if you go catfishing and you use a hot dog wiener soaked in strawberry flavored Jell-O, you might get them faster. So the typical day though, for me, if I go fishing, I don't get it that quick. So all I'm going to do is I have this here, good things come to those who wait. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to thread it through here. So that we'll have a string of fish on here. And then I'm also going to put a bow because I can, right? So, but I want to sort of stagger them. So I'm going to have to stagger them in a minute when I finish it. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and get this taken care of so I have it out of my way. Right? Hey, I like stringing this fish than real fish. Sue, I don't know if you go fishing or not. I don't know. I've taken grandkids and kids, our kiddos, but I can honestly say I haven't done it recently. So in order to get your fish to stay however you want it, I'm going to put this up on the dimensional. And then I'm actually going to put some of the fish on a dimensional, right? Just sort of how to keep it there. So this is just going to tilt to the side. And my fish are going to be dangling down. And I'm going to control them with dimensionals. That's all I'm going to do. And this way too, right? You can put a happy birthday on here. If somebody's retiring, you can put that on there too. That is totally up to you, right? I'm going to get my tag here and then I'm going to arrange my fish. Because I've got them on a string, so I know I'm not going to lose them. But what I'll do is I'll just sort of scatter them out up here and I'll put them on dimensionals. So really, for me, I really don't care at this point, you know, if I use a large or a small, right? Because I'm sort of going to stack them. I'm going to at least leave. So see, I'm just going to position my fish based on where my tag is. So then as I keep on layering the fish, you know, you can do it any way you want, right? So you can do it with a dimensional, you could do it with adhesive, or you could do it with a smaller dimensional, which that's what I'm going to do, which I just had. Let's see there. Okay, I just had the small dimensionals. Doesn't matter though, right? Oh, here we go. I just had another one though. You just saw me use it. So I'm just going to start stacking them, right? So it's easy to stack it. Think, you know, I sort of just think of what would it look like? What is it like when you go fishing and you have all these fish? Well, that's what you do. They just sort of hang in there, or if you get it in the water, right? They're swimming around, even though you've got them on a stringer. So that's all we're doing. I'm just doing them so that I can stack them. It's not like I'm putting it all down, right? Because I still want the 3D effect. They can move around. I don't care. The main thing is I just want to share my sentiment, right? This one can hang loose. And I'm just going to put this one here so you can see my sentiment. And then I'm just going to trim the top, right? You still got to put a sentiment in there on the inside. I'm not going to do that right now. But, you know, you just put those fish where you want them. There you go. I've got my fish all just hanging out right there. And then I sit there and I'm going to go ahead and put a bow on here because I can, right? Because I can. I'm trimming this off. So you can trim this as far as you want it. It doesn't matter, right? We're not going to sweat the small stuff. That is small stuff. I'm going to use a glue dot to put this ribbon on. Oh, you did some kind of fishing. You know what? I think of your part of the world, Sue. I think of ice fishing. All the people went ice fishing. I did fishing as a kid too. We did that a lot, right? As a kid, that was sort of like our vacation, right? You go spend the weekend fishing together as a family and or friends or whatever. Maybe with some friends too. And that's how you spent your weekends. Because we only had 3 TV stations. And you know what? We weren't watching TV, and we definitely didn't have our cell phones and all that. So this is just easy because the fish will easily move. If it bothers you, then go ahead and do it on over the dimensional. I'm okay with it. But there you go. There's just a nice card. We stepped it up basically because we cut out the fish here, right? and we have the layers here, and we add the paper, and then we have this right here. So that is card number 2. Let's look at card number 3. Card number 3, we're going to do some feathering, and it's going to be similar to what we did last week. We didn't do feathering last week, but this layout of this card is very similar. If you saw it last week, if not, you can go back and look. As you can see, I've done items in purple, various colors of purple, and I made sure to include the purple. Again, here's the twisted rope, and I'm just going to put this on with adhesive. And then I'm going to also show you, you see my tag. My tag, I rounded it off with a punch. They do have a punch that will do the rounded corners too. Or you can sit there and do it like I showed you. So here's the tag I'm going to be using. So I just used a circle punch to get my corners rounded off like that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add this here. So I did keep some of the fishing lures because I'm going to use fishing lures, right? And I'm going to just put this on with adhesive. And then the actual dimensional stuff is going to be our tags and our lures and our bob and it's going to bob in the water. So I don't know if fish really care if your bobbin or cork is purple or red or whatever, because all they really see is the bottom of it, right? Some people might swear by it, I don't know. But this is a card, so it's the thought that counts, right? I don't have to be what people call literally correct. The whole purpose of creating is creating your way for the person that you're making the card for, right? It's all about it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So, but isn't right? The tackle box inspires. There's a lot of things in our lives that inspire us to create. So that's why I wanted to show that to you, because it's not, I may or may not do what's in the tackle box, but I wanted to show you the different colors, right? Because there's definitely more than one color. Oh, there you go, ice fishing. You know, and when I lived in South Dakota, I never did do ice fishing. I knew people that did do ice fishing. I just felt I could do things better on my Saturday than go and freeze my little tush catching fish. But I always thought it was very interesting. Okay, so here's the basic of where we got right here, and we're going to have our tag, and this one's going to actually put happy birthday on here. And I'm going to just go ahead and put it up on dimensionals because everything else is going to be worked around it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this up. We're going to get up on dimensionals. So I'm going to put happy birthday right here in the center. And then we can add some of the silver, some other stuff, and you'll see what we'll do. But I'm going to go ahead and get this up because it's, you know, it's like you do anything else. Whatever you're going to work around or build around. So we're going to actually build around the tag now. And I've already done some stuff in advance, like the stamping and die cutting. So last Wednesday we talked about the die cutting and doing this right here. So this is what we've got. Now I could just as easily go ahead and punch a hole in this here, and I could feed some string through it. I don't know if I will or won't, but I got 2 of these, so I'm okay with punching a hole through this right now. So I just literally get the hole started, and then I just push this a little bit further until it goes all the way as far as I want it, right? So that's what I did right there. And if I want to feed the string through, I'd sit there and use my embroidery, yeah, it's an embroidery needle. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start laying some things out. We're going to go ahead and I already tell you these are going to be on this side here. And we're going to do some feathering. So as you saw, one of the lures, it looked real feathery and everything else. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through here and I'm just going to just snip just a little bit. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to snip. I'm not going to snip all the way through, right? Because I'm going to use the center of this here to hold it all together. But if you just take the tip of your scissors and do like this, you can get a feathering effect. And the other thing that you can do is you can take the bone folder and use it to fluff this up if you wanted to. And also give you another look, right? Let's see if I want to do it right now. So I got 2 of these, so we can do them. So, you know, if you use your bone folder and just come across that edge, It's going to let you see the different stuff that you did. Let's see how deep I did it. Okay. So I'm just sort of just trying to get an idea, so I can get an idea so you can see what it looks like. So it just depends how much feathering you want. You see what I did. If I wanted to do it more, then I'm just going to have to come in here and use snipping of my scissors and just snip a little bit more, right? The main thing you want to do is that you don't cut it off, because then you don't have anything you feathered. All right? So because I'm using different purples and everything else, I'm actually just going to put this on here just like this. And I'm going to do it with a dimensional, just a small dimensional. It'll give it a little height, not too much height, but I'm going to do it. Let's see, I'll do this here. I can do it with this. Just get you a little piece. We just need it to sit there and adhere, right? Because it's going to go in the mail. And I want it to adhere, but I want just the top part to adhere. So you can see the feathering better on back. So if you flip it over and you want to see how much feathering you did, you can do that. So it's just a matter of fluffing it the way you want to fluff it. And this way, if I just do it toward the top, then it leaves flexibility to do whatever you want to on the back half of this. So I'm just going to put it on here just like this. And you can actually do a little bit to the side too. You know, if you look at if you haven't looked at fishing lures and you're making something specific for somebody, just go to any store that carries fishing lures. And you know what? I think I'll just put this one here. And go check out what they've got, right? Because they've got all kinds of fishing lures. It's not limited to anything. The one I have here, I think, was with one of the grandkids' fishing kits we got. And I'm just going to put this right here, right? Because automatically it's going to give depth. All right, here I'm going to put this up with a dimensional. And then I'm going to add some of the silver left over that I had. Can't add string if I want to there, but I don't know if I do or don't. And I also have some, like I said, some silver. But I wanted to be sure to add some of these because there's always weights that you have to go with these. And we always have hooks, right? When you go fishing, there's always hooks. So that's what I like about this, is really just picks things up nicely, just adding the touch of the silver. I don't use any other bling, right? Because the silver foiled paper does the job for you. And the fact that it's also, it's easier here. I'm going to do this one just to sit there and put the glue on the paper versus fussing with it and wondering how you're going to do it, right? So we'll just put those two there. Gives us 3 items there. And I am just going to at the top here, let's see how this will look. We'll go ahead and put that down. Get the glue off my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and put this one up here. And we're going to be done, right? I'm going to just have a beautiful card for some of my special peeps for their birthday. If I wanted to, I can add this also. I don't have to add it to that per se, but I can definitely add it to right there, right? To the side. Because some people just do what they want to do also. Create their own. Create their own. So I definitely got all the purples in there that I have. I've added some accessories here. And I got a couple more hooks here I can add. I don't have to necessarily add them here. I can add them also in here. Right? It's your card, your creation, your gift. When you make a card, it's a gift, right? Because you took the time and effort to make it all happen. So there you go. I have a nice fishing card for a lady friend. So I hope you enjoyed that. So here's the last one we did here. I would say that most probably the second one is the most stepped up. Only because the fact that you have to cut all these little fish, right? I cut 5 fish, just what I cut. So if you want to know, there's 5 fish there. I'm sort of clearing this out of the way for you just to see how we started simple. And we just kept on going from there. And here's a simple one. Again, the fish was cut out. We just did some stamping, add some leftover stuff. Here, we definitely fussy cut these fish out to make this happen. We can die cut one of the fish, and we had the tag already left over. And we just add some ribbon, right? And we had some paper here. And then this one is using those scraps. We did the scrappy cards last week. Well, this is the same technique. We just added an extra layer, which happens to be embossed with the rope embossing folder, and then we just added all the other stuff on top of it, right? So that just makes it very easy. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? Because it doesn't take much time and it's very easy to do. So there's no reason why you can't go out there and create, share, and give and make someone's day, right? That's what it's all about. So with that, be blessed. We look forward to seeing you next week on Keep It Simple or Step It Up. The video will be posted later on YouTube, and you can see the cards on Instagram. All right, see you next week. Bye.